Okay, so this is a Moxy mixin example of how to do strongly typed ID. So I've created a Moxy Mixins folder here, and I'll just call it create a new one called entity with GUID ID, and it's a .mixin file, and the build action for that needs to be C# analyzer additional file. I'm just going to paste in what was in the GitHub issue. I don't know what the code does, but there it is. And then what I can do is I can go to class and say that this class is an entity with GUID ID. So if I now look at the generated code for that, Moxy, strongly typed class1.moxy, there it is. I'll drop that down to the bottom. There we go. So this is a Scriban scripting language. So anything inside double braces is Scriban script. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is put this into a namespace. So namespace, there's a global variable called Moxy, and that passes me the class, which is just a system type, not class namespace. And then I'll put some braces for the actual namespace itself. There we go. This word test ID comes up a lot, so I'm going to make that public. Test ID comes up a lot, so what I'm going to do, obviously we want to change that name to class1 ID, so I'm going to create a variable, so into Scriban, and then say class key ID equals moxy.class.name plus ID, and then actually what I can do is if I do Control H and then do class key ID, there you go, that's done. So I can go back here, generate a constructor, not generate overrides, I want to generate a constructor. I thought that would have a refactor for generate. Oh no, I haven't got a property, ID property on there. I'd have to go in and create it manually, wouldn't I? So public class1 ID, yeah. But I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do now is, if I just say I want a partial class of moxy.class.name, and then say I want a public class key ID, get and init. There you go. So now my class 1 has got a property for ID, so if I generate the constructor, yeah, now I'm seeing what I expected to see last time. Generate constructor for ID, there you go. And I can have another one, public partial class purchase order, and that's an entity with GUID ID, and yeah, I'll add a same kind of constructor for that. I want an ID, and finally I'll do a purchase order line, so public partial class purchase order line, which is a entity with GUID ID, and also it's going to have a purchase order ID, get and init, and then I'll create a constructor for that, generate constructor, there we go, that's it. So as you saw, the template itself only took a few seconds.